What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk, we in the building. And the suspect that allegedly killed the 3-year-old has been brought into custody. His name hasn't been released yet. I'll link the article supporting my claim, but let's pretty much talk about the story. The article at Fox 2 says source, 3-year-old killed on Southfield freeway after incident. It said a source revealing more details that led up about the fatal drive-by shooting of a 3-year-old on Southfield freeway last week. A suspect who has not yet been named or officially charged turned himself in to police Wednesday. Michigan State Police said that the suspect is a 24-year-old man from Detroit and that the shooting may have stemmed from a traffic incident. So basically, road rage. Said we were told that the suspect was at the light before the on-ramp on the Southfield freeway. In front of the suspect's car was the victim's car, and driven by grandmother Christian C.J. Miller, who was taking the boy on to Sesame Street Live January 24th. We're told the light changed and the suspect didn't move. The woman honked her horn. He still didn't move, and then he began moving very slowly on purpose. The grandmother accelerated and eventually passed him and got around his vehicle before getting on the freeway. According to our sources, the suspect got angry at the woman for passing his vehicle and then sped up and followed her. We're told he eventually pulled up next to her on the driver's side and pulled a gun that he shot into her car. The kid was hit in the shoulder blades with a bullet. He died the next day at the hospital. Also, Fox 2 sources said that the suspect said he didn't know a kid was in the car. Initially tried to claim he spotted an object in the woman's hand. Source tells us the suspect is a career criminal and that the police are investigating a possible connection to other homicides as well, too. So, basically, he got a record, and pretty much his fingerprint probably resonated or probably set off some other, potential crimes and homicides that he done before. Unfortunately, he didn't know the kid was in the car, and he tried to play the role that pretty much the woman had something in her hand, and ain't no old woman had nothing in her hand. Now, we did have some instances where an old woman on the west side was trying a house invasion in somewhere on, I think it was the Finkel-Schaefer area maybe. And the guy tried to get in her house, and she had the little gun holster where she popped the gun out and then popped them. And then you had the incident somewhere else a couple years ago in the summer. Somebody tried to carjack a lady, and she split his wig up open. So yeah, you got those situations that happen that sometimes these old ladies do be packing, but they not going to in road rage do that. So pretty much. This all stemmed from a road rage incident. There's been a lot of stories going around what happened, what didn't happen. Oh, they were just randomly doing this and that. And it's pretty much unfortunate that the 3-year-old ended up getting popped when he was about to go see Sesame Street Live. Pretty much all of us can remember taking our kids or actually going or having pictures in our house or somewhere put up of us going to Sesame Street Live. It's pretty much like a rites of passage for young kids, and it's a great experience. And he didn't get to experience that because somebody got mad because somebody honked the horn and then passed him up, and he had road rage, And sometimes you can't get really angry, at people for road rage, because we always been there. But to take it to that extent where you wanted to shoot a lady and you seen a lady before you pulled the gun out, you seen the lady was in the car, and then you wanted to shoot, and then you just start shooting into the car and eventually hit a kid in the shoulder blade and he passed away. I'm glad he turned himself in. And some people say, well, he deserves the death penalty. And I'll leave that into, the judicial system hand. We know we don't have a death penalty in Michigan, and I never really understood the death penalty because I don't believe anybody should take anybody's life. But I always think jail was more harsh than actually being on death row, because eventually you get your final meal and you die. But, you eventually die. Sometimes some people sit on death row for 20, 30 years and then die. You're going to rot in a prison and never see the daylight again and suffer from everything that comes with prison and stuff of that nature. You're not going to have too many enjoyable moments in prison. But to really know this all stemmed from a road rage incident. And it just shows you, man, that, like, you just got to be careful out here, man, And it wasn't even like she was the woman that was, stuck at the light. He was in the wrong. The light was green. He stuck there at the light. She blew her horn. She got around him. She trying to make it to a place. take her kid. He get mad and then speed up, and then he want to have some gunplay with an old lady. Before he pulled the trigger, when she passed by him, he looked at her. He knew it was an old lady because he was going slow. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's a pathetic thing, you know, from the guy. I know they're going to keep it under wraps. Obviously, they didn't charge him because they hasn't officially named him as the suspect yet. So you'll see them name him as the suspect, charge him. And it may be some people, you know, maybe he told his parents or told his girl or told some of his homies. They said, man, you got to turn yourself in. It was a big man in him to turn himself in. It was either they was getting close to him or one of his family members told him to turn himself in. And he done the right thing. You know, now he going to suffer. In jail, they really going to bust his head open. But not only just that, he's connected to other homicides. So either that gun was connected to other homicides that he was using if he turned the gun in, or his fingerprint. And more likely it was the fingerprint. So, you know, it's unfortunate that some 3-year-old had to lose his life. And I thought it was something of beef. And I'm like, what kind of beef would the old lady have? Some people saying some people was randomly, you know, shooting people on the freeway and stuff of that nature. But, you know, in my opinion, man, all this, it's nuts. Really, all of this is nuts. Nobody deserved this, man. Seriously. You know, nobody deserved this, man. He didn't deserve to spend the rest of his life in prison. That kid didn't deserve to die. The mother, the grandmother, whoever she was, didn't deserve to go through this. You know, from a split incident of his anger and all this, he should be living his life being a 24-year-old man, trying to right his wrongs in the street, trying to provide for his family and living his life and living a fruitful life. I'm just so tired, especially if this guy's a black man, which I believe he is. I don't want to insinuate. I'm tired of seeing black people throw their life away in black on black crime, man. I'm tired of crime in general. You know what I'm saying? We got to do better than this. And, you know, we just got to do better. I'm tired of just seeing, black lives just thrown away, man. We can't say Black Lives Matter if we don't value those black lives ourselves in these streets. And in Detroit, we can do better. Not only have we tore down our neighborhoods and burned down houses and tore down our stuff from the riots and neglected our homes, neglected our kids. You know, not only are we stealing air conditioned units from the top of the schools and we stealing from the school, we stealing from the kids. The government is already stealing from us because we don't value our community. If we valued our community, everybody kept their street up, everybody did their part to keep their block up, to make sure their kids grew up right and raised them right, and make sure they checked up on their kids at school and raised them to be respectable model citizens. And we respected our neighborhood and we respected each other. I guarantee you, white people respect us. All Arabic people respect us. They respect that we doing better. Not only they probably won't still see us as equals, but we don't need to be seen as equals. We kings in our own right. We queens in our own right. But we got to start valuing ourselves. You know, this was petty. You know, this was water under the bridge. Real talk. This is water under the bridge. This is something that he could have just drove off and like, man, that's an old lady, man. Forget that, man. You know what? I was wrong. Let me keep driving off, and you know, it is what it is. But instead, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, man. Fuck it off. Cut myself off. What does it matter if it was a kid in the car or it wasn't a kid in the car? That was somebody's mother. That was somebody's grandmother. That was somebody's sister. That was somebody's auntie. That was somebody's friend. So you want to smoke with an old lady, bro? That don't make it no better if you didn't know if a kid in the car was in the car. This wasn't no gang banging stuff in Southern California. This wasn't no GD Vice Lord stuff in Chicago. This wasn't none of that. This was an old lady. Even if it wasn't no kid in the car. So you was going to justify smoking an old lady, man. These kids be high. These adults be high. They be, I don't know what be going through their mind, man. And people say marijuana isn't an addictive drug. Yes, it is, man. Anything that anything could be an addiction. Okay. You know, pretty much any substance can be addiction that can be abused, man. A lot of these dudes be abusing weed. It's a gateway drugs to Molly and heroin and cocaine and all types of stuff, man. And my prayers are with everybody in this situation because homeboy gonna need all the prayers he can get what he about to go through jail. But you know what? One thing I do respect that he turned himself in. Well, he deserved everything he gonna get to him. But, you know, prayers go out to the kids, mother, father, to the grandmother that had to go through this whole incident. Hopefully she don't blame herself for this. This wasn't your fault. This is an idiot that's going to get what he deserved. But Motor City Sports Talk, I'll link that article in the description. Blessings to everybody out there. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can reach out to the email if you got a business question, inquiry, response. And I definitely appreciate everybody for checking in. And we're going to continue to hold it down, man. Get back to talking Detroit sports. Mercy Sports.